We'll call this meeting to order, 6 o'clock. Roll call.
Councilmember Johansson,
Here.
Councilmember Courtney,
Here.
Councilmember Bracel,
Here.
Councilmember Cole,
Here.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Yeah, I know he said he's gonna dial it. Just text him.
apparently he's dialing in a little bit later. Deputy Mayor Lewis,
Here.
Mayor Khan,
Here.
we have a quorum.
I'll wait for Mitchell or not. Okay. Okay. Carter, you want to do the invocation?
Sure. Thank you for this day. I ask that you'd be with us through our meeting, Lord, and just help us be of like mind and like hearts and look after our city and give us good wisdom in how to take care of the people that you've planted here in Houston. And let the people that speak tonight speak with clarity and goodness in your precious holy name. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make motion to agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussion? None?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda. Councilmember Cole?
Yes.
Oh. He's not on
Yes.
the phone yet. I can do, he's not on the phone yet, so you can all just. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Special orders of the day? None. Reports and correspondence? Oh. Anybody have a report, I guess? Okay.
In your report, you didn't cover the new trial date, and then wondered if you could let the council know when it is.
Oh, for Joe's case? It is March 2nd, I believe. I don't remember exact date.
Along with that, I'd like to make a motion that motion set an executive session with the city attorney to go over Mr. Tanner's trial information, at least 2 weeks minimum advance of trial.
Okay.
Everyone want to second that? I'm sorry, what are you saying? I made a motion. You want to hear it again? Yes. Motion to set an executive session with the city attorney to go over Mr. Fantasy's trial information, 2 weeks minimum advance of trial date. I'll second that.
discussion?
Hearing none, a motion's been made and seconded to set executive session with the city attorney to go over Mr. Stennis Street trial information, 2 weeks minimum advanced notice of trial date. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Councilmember Courtney. I'm doing a roll call vote because
Yay.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Councilmember Johansson,
Nay.
Councilmember Brazel.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Lewis. Mayor Khan.
Aye.
Motion carries 5 yeas, 1 nay.
Did we have no checks over 5K this month? Anybody who knows the answer?
Through the mayor?
Yep.
I had sent an email earlier at the end of earlier of November to let you know what checks were over 5K. I can go pull that information if you guys would like from my emails. I just didn't bring it with me. I forgot, I'm sorry. Normally I don't have to bring that to me, but I can go grab that information if that's okay.
Um, 31 loads.
Thank you, Men's Health Foundation, for making that happen for the community. It's a big deal for our seniors.
On my report for November 20th for the Sonia meeting, we had to reschedule it to the 24th. Just so people are aware, she had something come up, so
5 o'clock.
it's at 5 o'clock, they'll be here. So, on the 24th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, Planning and zoning, you have a report for us?
Good evening, council members. Laurie Faubert, new chair of Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you for that. A few things to report. We have a joint work session scheduled on the 20th with Parks and Rec, where we're going to go over some training for drafting resolutions for the commissioners to try to lighten the workload for our city staff and to be a little more self-reliant as commissions. We're also going to coordinate about safe crossings, the upcoming DOT projects through Houston for 2026, so that we can start to coordinate with DOT and make sure that Houston's voice is part of that conversation and that we get what we need to have done before they are done with their project. We're also going to go over the codes for landscaping standards at that work session. And then we're also going to be finalizing some changes to the bylaws for planning and zoning, and then be voting on that at our meeting later that evening. Does anybody have any questions for me? No? Okay, thanks a bunch.
Thank you. You have a Parks and Rec report?
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to report that we met this week for Parks and Recreation Commission.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully folks online could hear. My name is Randy Madison. I'm the chair for the Parks and Recreation Commission. We met this week, I believe. And have been working on some really great things. We did have the presence of the mayor there, which was great. Thank you so much for coming. Approved the minutes of the past couple meetings and discussed some unfinished business, which were the trails at Bear Paw Park, developing a map highlighting areas within the city where trash is accumulating. We discussed about GPS coordinates for ATV and pedestrian crossings along the Parks Highway, which I believe we'll be meeting with the, what was the commission, the Public Works Commission?
Planning and zoning.
Planning and Zoning Commission, sorry. Later this month is a joint work session to discuss that and the development that's going along. Sorry I missed Lori's report, but I believe she might have already mentioned that as well. But we're going to be working together as the two commissions to address some of the joint concerns that we have about the new development coming in for the highway. Under new business, we had discussion about a new grant opportunity to relocate and remodel the cabin in front of the fire station out here. The grant that was written by the city was for repurposing the building as a community food pantry for the city of Houston. If that grant is not funded, we will look at other options, and a couple of the other options we discussed were potentially seeing the viability of trying to get into a interpreter station for our campground. So we would have local history, Alaska Native history, all kinds of great naturalist activities, things you might see along highways, like information about different furs and animals that you can find around here, and the salmon and things like that. And not only for the guests who visit the campground, but we would hope, if that were the case, we would hope to incorporate whoever is volunteering at the interpreter station to work with the high school and the schools, other schools around, to do some local education hands-on. So that was also discussed. We're planning for, in our unfinished business, I'm sorry to jump back, the map highlighting where city trash is accumulating. We did plan to pinpoint and denote those areas before the spring cleanup happens in May. So we'll be working on that over the next few months. Next, we had commission comments, mentioned how many kids came to trunk or treat, which were 160, which was amazing, and 4 dogs or something. So in that discussion, we talked about the high need to provide more activities like that for our community, where there's a low or no cost for kids and families to participate. And so we kind of brainstormed some ideas. So I look forward to reporting to you on what we end up coming up with. And I know that our minutes have not been formalized yet, but we'll make sure that you get a copy of those. I may have missed a few items. Are there any questions for me?
I have a question. What role did Parks and Rec play in putting on Trunk or Treat? What exactly was your role?
I don't think we did. I think it was the Rotary. I'm sorry, which? Fire department did that. So we just got, luckily we have the fire chief on our commission now as a fill-in. Oh, that is one thing I wanted to speak to you about too, is thank you so much for your service, by the way, on our commission. He just wanted to highlight the need for those things in our community by sharing that information. But one thing we are looking for, and this goes to the whole attendees that are sitting behind me as well, is more commissioners. We only have 3 permanent right now. We have 1 who leaves for the part of the winter, and then we have our person who fills in, but he can't fill in all the time. So we're looking for folks to step into that role. And we just wanted to really encourage you to let people know that it's just a lot of fun. If you don't think you're qualified, or you don't think you know, but you have great ideas, we want you. We will help teach you the different things, Robert's rules, all that. Don't get worried about any of that. What we're looking for is people who will reliably show up, participate with great ideas, and help us carry out this commission's goals.
And I just have one more question because I forgot to ask Ms. Faubert. Does your work session with them, does it Is that going to be at 1700 or 1800? What time is that going to be?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think it's right before their meeting.
Okay.
So whatever time that is.
Oh, it's 4? Oh,
Is that
16.
4?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Department reports.
Before we move on from reports,
Kent Mitchell.
there he is. I mean, obviously.
Has joined.
With the exception of the EFPTS and health insurance, can you just quickly walk us through the checks over 5, Samantha?
We had the NC machinery expense for $20,304.20. That was the grader blades. That was on the capital improvement program. The next one was the $9,457. They're our lawyer, Landy Benton Bloomstein. I always mess up their name. I'm sorry. And then $43,519 for L&N Curtis and Sons. Those are for firefighter turnout gear. I couldn't tell you exactly what part of the turnouts they were. There was gloves, boots, and turnouts. I'm not sure which fell into that because there's still some more trickling in. And then the $9,527.64 is just everybody's credit card expenses for the month for North Rim.
That's mostly fuel.
Mostly fuel. I can, there were some office supplies purchased, janitorial supplies, fuel. All the directors have a $5,000 credit card limit. So
Gotcha.
it's just day-to-day things that we necessarily need.
Thank you.
Good.
Does anybody have any questions?
Any more questions about that? Nope. Okay, city clerk?
It's in there. You got any questions?
Anybody? Finance, do you have anything else to add or? No? Okay. Melissa, do you have anything to add on your report or anything? Okay. Christian, do you have anything?
I'll take the advantage to add one thing to my report is, and I'm not trying to point out to any specific people. They'll know who they are when they listen to the recording, but the lakes are not ready for you yet. Stay off of them. Whoever shoveled out the skating area on Bear Paw Lake, please don't put other kids in danger. They're not as wise as parents are. Let's wait until the lakes are at least 6 inches thick before we start clearing out areas for kids to ice skate on them, please.
Thank you. Moves us to public participation.
You're on 7A, which is George Hayes at the Met Subaru.
Mr. Hayes?
I know. Mr. Mayor, council members, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm George Hayes, the Deputy Borough Manager, and I have with me the Animal Care Director, Vanessa Forbes, and the Chief Animal Control and Regulation Officer, Matt Hardwig. And what we have is we passed out a handout there. Some of you were involved in some talks between last June, July, and then we had a special assembly meeting in August where the assembly voiced an opinion, an interest in doing area-wide animal care. But they insisted that we would not try to do that ourselves without a resolution from all three of the cities, that they were in favor of also going to an area-wide animal care. And with that, I will turn this over to Vanessa Forbes for some details on the differences between the area-wide and non-area-wide.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. My name is Vanessa Forbes, Animal Care Director for Animal Care and Regulation for Mount Sioux Borough. Currently, we're under contract. We provide sheltering for the cities and some additional assistance when requested from enforcement, maybe some advice if those things are requested from us. So with area-wide enforcement, we'd be able to do so much more to help the citizens of Houston, including things like investigations, citations, administrative orders, things like that, that perhaps right now you guys might be either struggling with or not have enough staff. We've got 4 officers and the chief, hopefully some additional staff that might be able to help with some of those things. Other things that we do for the borough are education events, expanding spay neuter to those areas where maybe veterinary access isn't as available. So we would bring that as well as some emergency response help when those things come up. And then a standardized code so that all areas and cities would be under the same code. I'm going to pass it over to Chief Hardwig. He's going to talk a little bit more about kind of what his section does.
Evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. My name is Matt Hardwick. I'm the Chief Animal Care and Regulation Officer. I've been an animal care officer and the chief in the borough for over 22 years. So I've seen, experienced, and worked with Houston City for the 22 years in various capacities and seen the struggles that we've had in working together. To give you an example of some enforcement issues we've had with boundaries between the cities and the borough is if an incident takes place in one area and the animal owner lives in another, we can't enforce those across boundaries. So get a little more detail on that. If a dog bites somebody in the borough but lives in the city, I can do something about it for the borough, but when the dog lives or the animal lives in the city, Houston City can't enforce my code and vice versa. So it's a struggle sometimes because we are so intimate between the cities and the borough. There's a couple of specific areas in the city of Houston that we've had that problem before. I want to say Joe's Drive area, which is right there by Big Lake and Parks, where there's quite a few different borough versus city boundaries. Another incident that recently happened, while it didn't take a response of animal control, it could have, was a dog fell through the ice about 10 days ago. All of my crew are ice rescue trained. All of the officers are certified investigators through National Animal Control Association, which is a national, I'll call it an academy for animal care and animal control officers. Some of us are also trained through Code 3 Associates, which is another animal care. We're trained through EIA, which is Equine Investigation Academy. It teaches you how what horses are, a little bit of bovine cow stuff. All of my officers have been trained from pretty much everything from alligators to yaks. And we have literally dealt with that in the last 2 years, alligators to yaks, even a crocodile. So our goal is to have a one-stop shop. That's what we would like. I've experienced getting phone calls from city residences and saying, I'm sorry, I can't help you, and forward it on to another city. And maybe that can be helped or not, but we don't know. And so We have enforcement services when it comes to investigations, classification, which is our putting an animal on probation because they did something wrong. We issue citations on a regular basis. We have two different types of administrative orders. One is for, like I said, a classification, or I say you have to do something with your animal and you have a right to appeal that. Another one is through our officer administrative hearings, which is basically I'm taking the animal from you, or we're deeming the dog an animal level 5. I say dog because that's most of the time bite cases and stuff like that. But we have currently we have officer on-call response 24 hours a day. We typically schedule an officer in the office or on the road between the hours of 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. But that doesn't mean that's the only time we work. I have 3 officers right now. We're hiring a 4th because one of ours left for Low 48. I think that's kind of a nutshell of what we do. We consider ourselves a education-driven entity, not an enforcement-driven entity. I mean, if your dog's loose one time, first time, we'll educate you. We're not going to give you a citation on that day. We want to correct it. We want to help the public. And I'm open to any questions. I know there's a lot of, I just said, if anybody has any questions for me on how this will work or what we do, who we are. Yes, ma'am.
Since you're not primarily, okay. So my question is, if you're not primarily living in Houston, what would the response time typically be to come out here to help with a critter?
That would be hard to say depending on where my officer was at any given time. You know, we are based in Palmer next to the central landfill. I think all of my officers now live basically in the core area around Palmer, KGB, you know, those areas. So I can't answer that response time. It would be probably less than half an hour, but depending on traffic, depending on the case, depending on the urgency of it.
Okay.
You know, we respond to emergencies to Talkeetna. We've gone to Lake Louise, Glacier View. We've even had a couple calls in Squintna. So, yeah, we get there as soon as we can, and we triage it too. If it's a cat in a tree, would be lower on the totem pole than a dog actively running around the school playground biting kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more question. So right now, if you live in the city of Houston, you need to have a permit, I guess, for your pet or a registration fee. Is that something that the borough would want to on top of the city? Does the borough require, since if you're going to be taking care of the animal control, do we have to have our pets in Houston registered with the borough?
The way I understand it is that basically the city code for Houston would be dissolved and the city would accept the borough's code, Title 24.
And what would that be?
What would
that
for
be?
Licensing?
Yeah.
Currently, the licensing issue is optional, but it's a stair step between $15 for 3 years to $60 for life, depending on the animal is microchipped or not.
Okay.
So, absolutely.
So we anticipated this question would come up, and I asked the attorney and the manager. So within the cities, they may have particular items that they would like seen in the borough code. And so what the attorney said was, we could present those kinds of things to the assembly, and it would be something like, notwithstanding borough code, and this would be written in the code, the city of Houston wishes to have a mandatory dog license. And we could put that in there with the assembly passing it. And whether it be Palmer or Wasilla or Houston, if you had specific things you wanted in there, then you could present those to the assembly, and then they would consider those and vote on them to go into our code as an exception to our code, specifically only for Houston.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do have one other thing. We want to get this, if the three cities agree, then we need the resolutions, one from each one of the cities. And we need to get that into our budget to make it, the plan would be if you all want to do that, and you petition the assembly and they agree with it, then it would be enacted on 1 July of next year. But we would need that in the budget by, I want to say, March timeframe. So it's not really, really urgent right now, but the sooner we can plan for that, because what happens is it's then going to change the area-wide and the non-area-wide taxes throughout the borough. Yes, only because your first line said the purpose of this essentially is to bring us here to give you an information paper. And then the last line gave support through it because, and we weren't sure whether the resolution, the whole resolution was only to bring us here to provide information, or if it really was to support that you voted on giving the area-wide animal care powers to the borough. So maybe a clarification of the one that you already did, clarifying that this resolution is for giving area-wide animal care powers to the borough.
I can help clear that up. It was written to actually send back as completed. It was amended by Councilmember McDonald at the time to draw out the process to have a little additional clarification. This is the clarification. So I think if we just go back to the original, take out the areas that George had, and you'd have your what you need.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Public hearing. On ordinances.
Yep, so you're going to ordinance number at.
Okay.
Mention the time. Anyone has anything to say, come up, speak. If not, we're not gonna speak,
Yep.
then close it.
Okay. Well, public hearing on ordinance number 2524 at 6:40. Anybody?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Virgie
You
Thompson.
wanna push the button, Virgie?
Sorry about that. It wasn't green. Good evening, Virgie Thompson. That's VIR, not VER. I know this ordinance was introduced, I believe, last month and set for public hearing. At that time, it was provided a copy somehow, some way. I don't know if it was online or whether it was picked up as a packet. It's not available right now. And I think online, so people could actually review it to know what they're going to be expecting of their council. I would like to see the city try to reference that online when they post their agendas. It would be great to have a complete packet. And it would be for all 3 items. So I don't have to come up here and say this again. It's not available online. Thank you.
No idea.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll close the public comment hearing on ordinance 2524 at 6:41. Go ahead and read it.
Okay, we're 7B, 1, ordinance number 2524, an ordinance of the Houston City Council amending Houston Municipal Code, Chapter 2.04, City Council to add Section 2.04270, City Council Member Handbook. Workshop on October 29th, and set the hearing was set for November 13th.
I'd like to make a motion to postpone ordinance 2524 to time certain of the January 8th regular council meeting.
I'll second that.
Second.
Any discussion?
I mean, realistically, we should schedule up another workshop, another work session in between now and then as well, so that we can get the final version of that thing drafted up. I mean, I pushed all the way to January just because December is December. The rest of November is probably pretty blown, so I mean, maybe the first, somewhere around the first or second week of December for a work session.
Conferences are the second week of December for newly elected officials, mayors, clerks. Sorry, could anybody hear me? Wasn't great. So the second week of December is not good.
I thought that was the 24th of November.
Nope,
The new council member training?
no, this is different. Email,
It's the one in Anchorage.
yes.
Gotcha.
Mayor's conference, clerk's conference.
Okay, when's the February meeting?
12th.
Yep.
So I just withdraw that motion and put forth another one?
You can just change it, amend it to February 8th if you want, as long as, or just change it and ask your person who seconded it if he's
Right.
agreeable.
Yeah, was that you, Dan?
Dan,
Dan.
You think February 12th instead, just because we're running out of weeks?
Yeah, a second.
Any other discussion?
Work session potentially January 19th, the Monday. Anybody?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we usually do those on Saturdays, don't we?
What time on Saturdays? I have ongoing commitments every Saturday.
January or February 18th, 5 a.m.
I can.
Noon. So postpone to the February 12th meeting with a work session on Saturday, January 18th at noon.
January
January
17th.
17th is Saturday.
It's typically till 2, so.
I'm sorry, yeah,
Wait,
that's
what
the
was that,
Sunday.
January 18th?
17th, it's a Saturday.
17th? Good.
Noon.
Noon. Everybody good? Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to postpone ordinance number 2524, an ordinance of the Houston City Council amending Houston Municipal Code, Chapter 2.04, City Council to add Section 2.04270, City Council Member Handbook, with a workshop on January 18th, which is
17th.
See what you did?
Numbers are hard.
Excuse me, Saturday, January 17th at 12 PM at City Hall. Councilmember Johansson,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Councilmember Cole,
Aye.
Councilmember Brazel,
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Lewis,
Aye.
Mayor Khan.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Public hearing for ordinance 2527. Open at 6:50. Anybody? I see nobody, so close at 6:51.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2527.
I'll second.
Lisa, that was you.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance number 2527, an ordinance of the Houston City Council to accept the donation and appropriate $2,500 from the Houston Lions. Councilmember Cole,
Aye.
Councilmember Brazel?
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell?
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney?
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Lewis?
Aye.
Mayor Khan?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Public hearing for ordinance 2528, 652. Anybody?
Virgie Thompson. Thank you. I just wanted to point out housekeeping for the purpose of these last two ordinances, one you just passed as well as this one, that the back page be changed, not to be Carter
Yes.
Cole as mayor and Mr. Khan, Mayor Khan. Thank you.
They'll be changed.
Any others? We'll close it at 6:52. Thank you. Make a motion to pass ordinance 2528.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance number 25-28, an ordinance of the Houston City Council to accept the donation and appropriate $2,600 from the Houston Chamber of Commerce. Councilmember Mitchell?
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney?
Aye.
Councilmember Brazel?
Aye.
Councilmember Cole?
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Lewis?
Aye.
Mayor Khan?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
We're open to audience comments.
Okay, you have, these are your people.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's people that signed up, so we're calling first.
Vanessa Forbes.
Oh, she was with the borough.
Oh.
They just signed it. That's
Sorry.
why. Okay, so we don't need him, and we don't need him.
Oh, Patrick.
We have,
Patrick Simpson.
Good evening.
You want to push? There you go.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Patrick Simpson, and I've been both a business owner and a community volunteer in Alaska for more than 3 decades. I've owned property in the Big Lake area since 2005 and became a full-time resident in 2023, so this is my home. As a community volunteer for the past 20 years, I've served as the race director for the Lost Lake Run, a nonprofit event that's raised over $3 million for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. This is just an example of the kind of community mindedness that I bring to the community. As a businessman, I've started and managed several successful Alaska-based ventures, including a Wild Alaskan Salmon Oil Company in Nikiski that produced and sold natural health products throughout the world. Each of these projects has shared a common thread, and that's creating value from Alaska's resources while contributing to the local economy. My current company, PKS Consulting, and its wholly owned subsidiary, Alaska Plastic Recovery, operates under the name Grizzlywood. Since 2022, we've been manufacturing recycled plastic lumber in Palmer, turning post-consumer, post-industrial, and ocean plastics into durable building products. The process collects plastic, shreds it, melts it, and molds it into dimensional lumber that replaces pressure-treated wood. It's durable, weather-resistant, easily maintained, and made entirely from material that would otherwise end up in a landfill or on our beaches. You can already see examples of Grizzlywood in the Mat-Su Borough, a picnic table at the Big Lake Library, docks at the Alaska Sailing Club on Big Lake, garden boxes in front of the Talkeetna Library. 5 picnic tables were sold to the city of Palmer this past summer. And then recently, the boardwalk at the Susitna Rotary Park here in Houston. These are great examples of what is possible when local waste becomes a local resource. So we're now looking to relocate our established Palmer operation to Houston, bringing approximately 6 full-time and several part-time jobs to our community. Our goal is to operate closer to my home in Big Lake while continuing the same clean, low-impact production process that has run successfully for the past 3 years in Palmer. So we've identified a previously developed gravel pit site within the city that's ideal for this use. Below grade, well-contained, consistent with Houston's comprehensive plan. We've submitted a conditional use permit application and look forward to working with staff, the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the council through the formal review process. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce myself and our company, and I look forward to being a responsible, engaged member of the Houston business community. Thank you for your time and service to the city of Houston.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David? I can't read that. DZ.
David? And Alexandra?
Oh. You signed it. Anybody else for comments? No, there you go.
Hi, Callie Weber. First, I wanted to mention that we just had a Mat-Su Borough election, and our community voted in a new school board representative, Lori Coley, and I just thought it might be nice if the council or the mayor or deputy mayor reached out to her, and be nice if she would like to attend these meetings. She does live in Houston. She's a Houston resident, so might be kind of nice for her to mingle about with those that she's representing. So I just wanted to bring that up. I also thought it would be nice if this council or the mayor or the deputy mayor would like to reach out to the senior citizen centers and see if there's a representative on the board that might like to give some updates and whatnot. That's what's going on with the senior citizens here. Just trying to get more active community here and know what's going on so that we're all on the same page. The last thing I wanted to mention is just curious to me. I saw that under new business, there's going to be a request for approval for compensated hours. If I understand correctly, based off of what we've seen in the past, it's like 80 to 100 hours of work for the mayor's office a month, I think it is. And so if it's under that, then it comes to the council for compensation. And I think that that's what this new business is, the 49.5 hours. What I'm struggling with isn't the compensation. I mean, people work and they should get paid for the job that they do. What I struggle with as a community member is this is less than 50% of the hours required to be the mayor in the first month of election. So I'm just curious what was accomplished, why. There's a laundry list of things that the former administration put forward as to things that we're working on. I know that this council has discussed compensation, most of the time not for it. So I would just like to hear some good conversation about what was accomplished this month, because I did not see it yet. So that's all. Thank you.
For the record, what was your name? I didn't hear you. Callie Weber. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Virgie Thompson. Unfortunately, the back and forth conversation for that question that you have can't happen at this format, but just to, I'll talk to you after the meeting so I can help you understand that, because actually he's only been mayor for less than 3 weeks, so it's kind of hard to put in that many hours in that length of time. So anyway, the other thing of my concern is this Metsu-Burl animal control thing. Giving away our area powers for non-area, vice versa, whatever it is. I would like to see the council set up some type of a public hearing or work session or informational meeting for residents. I know when my dog got picked up on the highway quite a few years ago, we didn't have animal control, or if we did, the people chose to take it to Palmer. So I drove from Houston to Palmer, a trip to Anchorage, to get my dog out of doggy jail. And it wasn't cheap. So, you know, to weigh out those costs of what it would cost for an animal to be used Metsu-Burl, and what is the cost going to be to the residents as well for that. Because they're not going to do it for free. And if they're going to raise the taxes area-wide, we'll be paying for it in one way or another. So it's just something to consider. Informing the community before a decision is made. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments?
Laurie Faubert. I wanted to address Callie, what she said about the senior center and coordination there. I personally have been working with the new manager at the Mid-Valley Senior Center to facilitate communication between the city, specifically with Melissa, our Public Works Director, to have information about their day program and their food program and all those different kinds of things, the lunch program that they have at the senior center, but also coordinating with Wasilla Area Senior Center to have Mid-Valley become a drop for Meals on Wheels, and potentially very soon in the future we'll be looking for volunteers to help deliver the meals that are going to be brought to Mid-Valley as a hub for our community, for our Houston area seniors. So someone is working on that, me. Secondly, the action memorandum 2534, I do have some questions about that. By my calculation, this is for 49.5 hours between the 21st of October and the 31st of October for this pay that's being requested. I'm curious as to the documentation of that. Is there a sign-in sheet where there's documented when the mayor comes and goes and what his actual hours are? That would be something that if we're not doing that, there should be some transparency there so public knows exactly how much time the mayor is serving. I would like to say also that this is the first time I've ever seen something like this. I know that when Councilman Cole was mayor, he put in thousands of hours of work And we never saw anything like this. So that just raises questions. I'd like to see some documentation or some sort of receipt to show for accounting for hours. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more?
So I hate to do it during this time because it's as a citizen. My name is Christian Hartley. I'm an employee of the city, but I'm not speaking on behalf of my employment as the city. Recently, there was a meeting held called the Health Summit. The Matthew Health Foundation helped us coordinate. Well, they did the coordinating. We just showed up and did the talking. But there's a couple other people in here, such as Virtue, that were here. They were at that meeting, and at the follow-up meeting that we had here at City Hall, a smaller committee meeting to start moving forward. The meeting was held at Houston City Hall after being coordinated through the Matsu Health Summit that occurred at the high school. This meeting gathered about a dozen locals who are interested in spurring the process of identifying if there is a need for a larger community center than what we have at the Homesteaders Community Center. Designing, funding, and building a new community center for Houston residents and our neighboring communities. We're not looking to silo the fund. The facility is forecast to include many essential needs that are underserved in our community. The committee, both at the Health Summit and the committee meeting that was held here, identified a lot of those things that we would like to see. A $25,000 grant will be coming to the community through Houston Lions Club as the initial fiscal agent through the Big Lake Lions Foundation. This grant will be used to fund some community classes and activities at the current Homesteaders Community Center at the Parks Highway and Hawk Lane. These classes are still to be scheduled, but we're coordinating through different resources for instructors, for material and everything. They can include things like farming, harvesting, processing, canning, survival, arts and crafts, dancing, any number of classes that we could teach the community to keep people active this winter and throughout the next year. This is a one-year project. This $25,000 is budgeted through that committee to fund this for a year so that we can justify it. We'll also be seeking some additional grant funding through Matthew Health Foundation through a technical assistance grant to continue the process that started 3 years ago on doing a feasibility study of that larger community center in the city of Houston. So there will be a lot, once we start going forward, you'll see a lot more of this moving forward. This is a independent citizen civilian committee doing this. So you'll be hearing a lot about it. And I'm going to make sure that I keep the council fully involved on what's going on and educated, because it is something that benefits our city, benefits our residents. But it needs to be an independent organization so that they can have their process and their organization separate from all the other organizations going on. But like I said, things that came up, having a fitness room, having a larger food pantry, having a community garden, communal space where people can just gather and talk and interact and get out of the dark, interact with each other, have a gathering space. And I don't have more time, so I'll let you know more.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments? Yep. There you go.
Very new to this, so please be patient with me. But wanted to speak on two things. One, I know that there was something put out about a shooting range that was proposed. I don't know if that was voted on yet or not, but I was curious as to the placement of that. I know that it's on public land, but it was backed up against private property. And so I was just kind of curious why the reasoning behind the location, because the map that I saw, it was public land, and then right against private property. So I was primarily curious if that was still up for negotiation or debate on the location of that. The second thing that I wanted to make comment on was the area-wide animal care. As someone who works in the veterinary community, on the one hand, I know that it's great to have more access to services. That's something that everyone always wants. But again, as someone who works in the veterinary community, I think that it would be very wise to have a public meeting, let the public have a say in that, because I have seen when things get hairy between responsible owners doing what is best for their pets and then being dragged into situations that fall under other ordinances because their dog just happened to get out because their kids left the door open, or something happened where responsible owners are held to ordinances where they don't even live there, but something occurred right over the border. I have seen some very, very hairy circumstances where it's the other way around. But if Houston has their, we have our own ordinances for a reason. That, we moved here, we like what's here. And I think that while the idea of having services is great, I do think that it comes with a cost. And so I do think that having a public hearing where we can listen to the people to say, do we want these services at this higher cost, or are we willing to keep things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of all I have.
Alondra, can you spell your name for me, please?
Yes, first name is Aloendra. Last name is Zur, Dzur.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more comments? Okay, I see none. Moving on to consent agenda. Yeah, we're not doing no ordinance though, right? Okay, so we're just approving minutes.
There was a public hearing.
I'll make a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Councilmember Cole,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney,
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson. Aye. Councilmember Brazel,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Lewis,
Aye.
Mayor Cole, or Khan, oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
Aye.
I knew that was gonna happen. Motion carries unanimously.
No unfinished business, new business.
Gosh, I almost made it. Someone needs to make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Action memorandum.
Action memorandum 2534.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
The hours that it takes to actually do the mayor's position is well understated in the current code. And I would not object if anybody wants to raise those to me. I would say, currently, the mayor is not only the figurehead and signer, but you're also the manager. So it takes quite a bit of time to do that job. And it should have been corrected. And I myself should have tried to correct that, but because of public perception, I did not. In this day and age where everybody hates the government and everybody thinks the government's doing something to take advantage of it, I probably would not have asked for those if I was you, just because that in my own experience of that. I do think the questions out there, you do owe them at least a explanation of what you have done. And if council wants to address it in a more thorough package in the future, it should be done. Because we can't let the city go back the way it was when I found it. It was an absolute wreck. It needs a manager, and it needs a manager that's going to be there to actually make sure the city runs as a city, not as your own personal whatever. It needs to operate like a city and be accountable to the people. And in the 3 years that I spent as mayor, that's what I accomplished. And I can understand why some of the people, the first thing we move forward is compensation, why that might be a problem. So with that said, I think if you explain, you need financial support for it. Looking right at you.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
I guess I'll try to give a little bit of clarification on the hours and stuff. It's mandatory for 100 hours. If you don't, then your salary, which is $1,500, that's the most you can make. So if you figure it out, that's $15 an hour a person's getting for sitting here doing this job. If it goes under, then you have to have the council vote on it. So I'm not trying to let this take anything that is not deserved or anything, but I guess if you have any explanation or any more questions, we can try to explain it to you better or whatever. So, thank you.
Mayor Khan, did you have Councilmember Brazel come into you one day to discuss something with you?
Yes.
Okay, and how much estimated time was that, do you think?
Oh, hour maybe.
Okay.
I mean,
Have you had any other council members talk to you about other things, or has Councilmember Brazel been the only one that's come to you with questions?
He's the only one that's come in with questions.
In person?
Me and Dan have been in here learning stuff, trying, get to know people, figuring out what the ropes are so we can grab a hold of things.
Gotcha.
And take care of stuff. I mean, I've been to some seminars too, or if you call them seminars, or just meet and greets and all that stuff.
Okay. And you were at Trunk or Treat also introducing people.
Yes.
And as mayor and stuff. There was another instance I was thinking of. I'm trying to, hang on. It's been a long day. When there was the transfer of power from one mayor to another, how much time did that encompass? Did you have a transfer of power from one mayor to another?
We sat in the office for a couple hours.
Okay, did you feel that was complete in what was
We've talked.
transferred?
We've talked afterwards too.
Okay, so you have discussed things with Councilmember Cole since then?
Yep.
Gotcha. And the city clerk and the treasurer both had to sign off on this sheet, right? So they're not going to sign off on things that they don't agree with, I'm guessing. So if people are questioning what you're doing, then in sense, they're questioning what the clerk and treasurer are thinking, if they have to sign off for it.
Right.
And-
Samantha is very good at catching me. I had a day messed up where I forgot something happened and she's like,
I agree. She's very good with the numbers. Our accounts have shown the changes. So in your opinion, and from what we've seen from these two, they're not going to sign off on something that's not accurate or trying to mislead the people.
no.
Okay, thank you. No further questions for me.
Okay. Any more?
Mr. Mayor, what do you feel is, say, what is the most time-consuming aspect over the short time that you've been mayor of your roles and duties?
Probably as of right now, learning everything, making sure I'm to know what's going on, I guess, to follow, keep things going.
Would you be opposed to, or let me figure out how I'm supposed to state this. In terms of, in the effort of maintaining ultimate transparency, is there something more that you could do to illustrate every detail of what you do? In other words, outline on your timesheet even more detail for the public to allay any concerns?
I don't know how, I guess.
Well, would you consider looking for opportunities to improve that process and make it more transparent?
Yes. I mean, I can, I could do, I mean, because there's times that you're not in the office, but you're actually out someplace else, whether you're checking roads or checking to see if a business is coming about or something. I mean, there's office work and there's out of office work, I guess. You get phone calls even when you're not in the office, you get at home where people have questions, because I don't want to be here dragging on hours if I don't need to be here either. So I guess I'd be open to figuring something else out. I can do stuff in my report better, I'm sure, if that helps. I'm not the best at that yet. I hope to improve on that part, so.
Then, through the mayor, if I may again, then I'd be curious, in the past, what have other mayors had to present? Are we doing something different? Because some people don't like mayor, like, are we going to hold him? Do you see where I'm going with that, council member or Deputy Mayor Lewis? I apologize. I mean, I'm all for transparency. Don't get me wrong.
Holding everybody to the same standard.
Right. So then is this going to be something that's going to be brought forth continuously for mayors that come up in the future? I think that's something that needs to be considered then if we're going to look at changing how things are done.
Well, I
So
can answer
just
that
something
quite.
to put in your wheelhouse.
I can answer that. I went through similar things myself, especially the first year when had a full-time job, and I was working, I had to bring every time card I did, and I also keep a diary at the time where I could tell you what I did during those times. So yes, I was questioned at the same, actually a little bit further than what he's getting tonight. So if
In your
you're,
transfer of power, did you share that information with them? Probably as a,
I wasn't
hey,
asked.
So you have to be specifically asked in order to share something?
Well, as a mayor, you have quite a bit of flexibility how you run the city. I didn't want to get into the thing where I'm trying to tell somebody how to run a city.
But you want, okay. No further questions. For me.
I've been in a salaried position since 2000. Some of that time was for an accounting firm. The accounting firm had us track our time in 6-minute increments, tenths of an hour. I've owned my own business where I had my staff on salary, track their time in 15-minute increments. I now do IT consulting, working for the state and a lot of private organizations where we do 15-minute increments. I don't think that, I'm surprised that historically this hasn't been a thing, but I don't think it's unreasonable going forward to figure out a way to have at least a reasonable amount of detail in the timesheet. I think that 6-minute increments is a little outlandish, and you have a diminishing return on the tracking as the treasurer laughs because she doesn't want to track 6-minute increments.
No, she does.
She does want to track. It did tenths of an hour. But no, I think that, what we're looking at in the back of this is 9 days worth of effort. And what we have is on-site and remote hours. This is the first time I've seen anything like this from of the 2 mayors that I've been a council member under. But if what we're doing here is sticking our toe in the water, perfect. Let's have a little transparency on the mayor's time. Let's expand on this and just have some basic, you know what, this 2 hours of remote, I was at the mayor's meeting. This 4 hours in the office, I was dealing with employees, reviews, signing checks. Just real simple, rudimentary, this is what I'm doing. I don't think that's an unreasonable request. I mean, obviously we can't ask for it in arrears. But I mean, if we could agree to something like that going forward, I think everybody wins.
Yeah, this is Kent Mitchell. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has said anything about, like, we're not questioning whether or not the staff signed off on anything that was shady. We're not questioning the hours. I think what we're expecting is, if you take the position of running the city, we expect there to be some running of the city done during the hours that are in the office, the hours that are being paid. That should be expected with any position. If you're going to take a position of running a city, there should have been some experience in that. It should not have been a greenhorn just thrown in without any experience in running any sort of administration. And so with this first month, I understand there's a lot to learn, getting to know the systems and getting to know your position. So there's obviously going to be a grace period for that. But what I am hoping for in the future, with Mayor Cole or with Councilmember Cole, but when he was mayor, I never had to question whether or not he was in the office getting stuff done, because every time we showed up for a council meeting, there was a bunch of things on the agenda to be voted on, to be worked on, because he had been at work the entire month and getting lots of things moving forward, keeping the city running, keeping things further ahead in the infrastructure systems of the city to make sure that this city is getting the best bang for its buck when he's in the hour. And he put in way over 100 hours most months. And so I'm not saying he has to work over 100 hours, but I don't understand why you would ever work less than 100 hours. If you're running the city and getting stuff moving forward, there's a laundry list of things that Carter Cole left behind that need to be gotten on and pushed forward so that the city continues moving forward. And when we have a mayor's report that's just a few sentences long, it's fair for the public to wonder what he's been up to. So I think maybe some more transparency in your report saying this is what I accomplished in my time would be beneficial for not just the council, but also the public, but also a meeting where there's more things on the agenda than just discussing your hours. And so I think it's perfectly fair to ask those questions.
Thank you, Ken. Anything else, I guess, for discussion?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve action memorandum number 25-34, approval of compensated hours for Mayor Collins. Councilmember Johansson,
Aye.
Councilmember Cole,
Nay.
Councilmember Courtney,
Aye.
Councilmember Brazel,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Lewis,
Aye.
I'm not gonna let you vote, you should recuse yourself.
I'll recuse myself.
You want to say it loud, Mayor Khan?
I'll recuse myself from the vote.
Motion carries 5 yeas, 1 nay. And Mayor Khan excused himself from the vote.
No record of items placed on table. Audience comments?
Clarification. Callie Weber, clarification. I just wanted to make sure that we understood what I was saying, because I think there was a little confusion on when I was asking about the hours. It wasn't compensation. I believe anybody should be compensated for the work that they do. My question was, I was surprised to see that there was less than 50% of the time in the first month. That's where I was asking what, to me, the first month is when you would really jump in and really maybe even work more because you're learning those systems. I think we talked about it and Mitchell talked about it. You're learning those systems. You're going out, you're meeting, you're attending meetings, you were at the handbook meeting. It's overwhelming how many hours that you probably put in the first month. That's where I was asking the question on it was just confusing to me that I didn't see that, and this was up for the first month. I mean, I get it if someone's on vacation, or whatever, people take time. So I just want to make sure that I wasn't talking about the individual hours and whether or not 15-minute increments and detailed thing or anything like that. I was just confused, and it was surprising to me not to see that. So I hope we know it's a busy city to run, and we hope that you'll have more accomplishments and follow up on things and more reports and more agendas. I think Councilman Mitchell said it very nicely. So that was what I was talking about, not the compensation, not the tracking of minutes and hours, although I know what Councilman Brazel's saying. A lot of us have to do that. We have to track those and follow those in project work and whatnot. So it's not, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but that was not what I was saying. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments?
Just to add to this, first of all, my name's Wayne Alder, a resident of the city. You're elected mayor on October 21. That means you had 9 business days. One of those days, I saw you at Palmer Courthouse. I know that's at least 3 or 4 hours of preparation. So don't forget that time. Thank you.
Any more comments?
Yeah. Nothing about this. My name's David Zuer. That's my wife. Never really been to a city council meeting in my life because I never cared. But we live here now. We have a family. We want to be involved. I'm happy to be here. Cool to see the process. She's really good with veterinary medicine. I can speak Chinese. I have no idea what we can be of use for, but we do want to be more involved in the community. So on a serious note, we want to get involved with all of this. I mean, the community center thing he was talking about, we're interested, we're here, we're trying to get ourselves settled in. So just introducing me and my family. We have a lot of kids. They're not here, but obviously there's one. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments?
Laurie Faubert, last of the evening. Thank you, everybody, for being here, doing what you do. I would like to say, actually, I would like to caution particularly council members citing things like other people's feelings when they're asking questions about our city, our business, and our money. Feelings are not involved in that. It's business. This is not high school. This is the city of Houston, and this is a city council. We should all be acting like adults and be able to discuss business without being accused of not liking somebody, because that really doesn't matter if I like you. It matters if you can do the job. Thank you.
Any more comments? Okay, see none. Move to executive session. On the subject of Tanya Schuman's annual review, do you want to be in public or in private?
Private.
Okay. I guess move to go to executive session and at 7:40.
Are we on?
Yes.
We're on.
Okay,
Mics are on,
mic's on.
and you are reconvening at,
Reconvening at 8:26.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the evaluation report for Tani Shoneman. I thought these were yours for a second.
Kent, are you still on?
I am.
Okay, I was just checking.
Call for a vote.
Mhm. 'Cause it's about me.
Oh, sorry. You gonna take the notes?
I already did. Carter made a motion to
Okay,
accept. And
Dan seconded it. Call for a vote then, I guess. Jeff, or you wanna do just,
Standard roll call.
okay. Jeff?
Aye.
Lisa?
Aye.
Callie?
Aye.
Carter? Dan? And I for Jason, Mayor. Oh.
Just very relaxed.
We're
Sorry.
getting real informal here.
We're gonna have to work on that, Mayor.
I know. Motion passes unanimously. Brings us to council comments. Who wants to start? Lisa?
Sure. I'd like to thank everyone who came out in person and to those watching online and to the new family that was here and got up and spoke. It's great to see you. I love seeing new people getting involved and wanting to be a part of the community. So I hope we see more of you guys, and thank you for coming down and checking out your first meeting. I hope we didn't scare you too much. A big thank you to everyone who came to Trunk or Treat. It was a lot of fun, and we always love seeing the kids and the people. We had just about, I think, everybody, almost every council member that was there, having their own little treat giveaway area. So thank you guys very much to coming out and participating in that. The fire department was there. We gave away a ton of goodie bags, and we really enjoy interacting with everybody and seeing the community. So thank you very much for that. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank Bob Hall and the owners of Miller's Market for lighting up our dark nights here in Houston. I don't know if everybody has noticed, but coming into Houston, Guerrilla Fireworks has their trees lit up again. I think it looks fabulous. And over here at Miller's Market, they also have a bunch of trees lit up, and it just makes me smile every time I'm driving past either of those places. So thank you very much. And to our audience member, Ms. Faubert, thank you for calling me out in regards to a comment I made. Sometimes my mouth gets going before my brain, and I'm human. And it happens, and I am a big girl, and I can accept when I've said something I shouldn't have. So thank you for calling me out. I appreciate that, and I own it. So thank you. That's it.
Yeah, this is Callie. Lisa kind of stole my thunder on most everything I was going to talk about. So we went to Trunk or Treat too and had a booth that was fun as always. A lot of kids and a lot of dogs. And yeah, I was going to say thank you to the new community members for coming out tonight, David and his wife. I can't remember her name, but thank you for coming. And yeah, that's kind of all I got.
Jeff?
Councilmember
You
Brazel.
look at me.
Councilmember Brazel.
I'd like to say thanks to the Parks and Rec chair and the Planning and Zoning chairs for coming to the council meeting and reporting. We've had those entries, excuse me, on the agenda for a very long time, and they've just kind of gone unanswered. So I'd love to see that continue in the future. Thanks to Chief Hartley for putting on the trunk or treat again this year. It's an opportunity for us all to kind of come together, and I like to hear that Parks and Rec is talking about trying to put some other things like that together. And even potentially take that trunk or treat off your plate. Sounds more like a Parks and Rec function than it does a fire department function, unless that's something that you really have felt want to hold on to. Sounds like a reasonable transition. I'd like to, again, as we accepted and appropriated those this month, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce again for their donation and Lions Club for their donation. Every bit helps, and you know, together those small things add up. That's awesome. He's gone now, but I'd like to thank Mr. Simpson, the gentleman that owns Grizzly Wood, that a bunch of his material was used down at the little sit in the park down there, and it came out beautiful. I'd like to thank him for considering moving his business to Houston. We need as much business development as we can get here, and we should be proud that a business like that is looking to put itself in our city. What about this? I believe that is all I have for this month.
Okay. Councilmember Mitchell, we still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I just want to thank the public for coming out. It's always good to have people coming in, giving input. Just want to thank Christian Hartley and his work with I think there's a very bright future with the Mat-Su Health Foundation. I am all for a community center. I think it would be an amazing addition to our city. I've been in talks with some people about that, and I'm excited to be able to help in any way I can. Yeah, there's just a lot of bright things in the future. We have potential for a food bank. We have just some incredible businesses that are moving into the town. It sounds like young families moving to town. And so our community is growing, and we as a council, I'm excited to work with everyone to do the best that we can to make sure that our infrastructure is in place for the growth. I know that we have a lot of things that have been started that I would love to see finished. And so I'm excited to see that stuff come to fruition. With so many people coming to the city council meetings, it's always just such a good thing to have this much involvement. We haven't had this much involvement in the past. And so I'm just thankful that so many people are interested and engaged and wanting to give suggestions and be productive members of this city. Our election turnouts have been higher the last few years, and it's just been really good to see the involvement. And I think that is going to make for an incredible community in the future. So keep coming to the meetings. If you are listening online, I know that YouTube has been a massive benefit to the city, where people who they live here most of the year, but then they leave for a few months in the wintertime, they get to attend the city council meetings over YouTube. That's a huge blessing for our city as well. So thank you for everyone that put that in place. It's been really good to have that. Thank you to the city council. Let's keep things moving forward. And to the mayor, I didn't mean any disrespect by what I was saying. I was just trying to explain, this is a serious position, and I hope that the time is spent doing what is necessary to keep all the balls rolling moving forward, so that our city does not miss out on amazing opportunities that have been put in place. So those things are important, and we need to make sure we stay on top of that. Thank you to the Public Works. Thank you to Melissa. I appreciated your report this month very much. Just there's a lot of good information in your report, as well as a lot of cautions, a lot of good information that I think is necessary to understand with our roads and our limited budget. And so there's just a lot that needs to be done to figure out how we can do the best we can with what we have. So thank you for your hard work on that as well. Thank you to all the city employees. Thank you to Tawny. Thank you for all of the city employees and their hard work, keeping the city moving through this transition, and look forward to working with all of you in the future. Thank you, guys.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes, thank you for the smile. Thank you. Always so nice to see it without crawling around in 6 feet of snow. And I would also like to take a minute to explain my vote on your hours, Mayor. I wanted to use that as a lesson more than anything. So you have a very serious job in the city, and it's important that that you understand the magnitude of your waiting on 2,000 some people. They're looking for guidance. So what we do up here is try to help support your efforts, and you have my support. With that said, I don't know if you guys have been following the December, or this heading into the shutdown, it's no longer a shutdown of the government. Well, what does that mean? How many of you guys follow that? That means your fire station monies just went through the process. So in about 2 to 3 months, we will be sitting here with a grant we need funded. So, Mr. Mayor, I would ask that you spend a lot of your time finding that match. It's absolutely imperative the city has it, because if we don't get that, your reserve is pretty well used completely. So I will ask both staff and the mayor to do your utmost to get that match. Because with that funding that's going to be coming through, the facility's needed by the community. And I certainly don't want to miss that opportunity, because it's taken 5 councils to get to that point. And we're sitting there with that ability right now, but we have to do it wisely. And then I did enjoy all the staff report, so thank you for your work. And that's it. And thank you, council, for everybody spending their time here tonight.
Mr. Lewis?
I want to especially thank the staff over the past few weeks for helping to get us up to speed and work through all of those things. I don't think a day, I'm positive not a day has gone by that I haven't been either on a call or here in the office speaking about a topic with Mayor Khan. So I can personally vouch for his diligence and getting up to speed on things and improve all the other areas that everybody's touched on. Most important, what stands out to me is when people from the public come and provide the feedback, because it directly influences our perceptions. We're all living our busy lives, and so when people come from the public and they speak, that has a tremendous weight and impact on the government and our decision. So thank you, very, very grateful for that.
Thank you. Ms. Clerk?
I don't really have anything. Thank you for approving my review. I mean, really, thank you. We're closed Thanksgiving Day and the day after. Don't forget your newly your training with Sonia on November 24th. It starts at 5 PM here in the chambers.
So it's not at 9 to, it's going to be here.
No, it's going to be here
Okay.
now because we're not competing with the space.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why the other one was, that something happened with her, whatever she had going on, and it changed, it moved her back, so.
Okay.
It was better to do it then, or you would have to wait till like the middle of December.
Gotcha.
And I think it's more beneficial for the new members. And it's for everybody. It's not just the new members, but, and I don't know, call me if you need anything. That's for the public too.
Okay, my turn. Thank you, planning, zoning, parks, everybody for your reports. I would like to see more, if people want to join the commissions and stuff, there's slots open, and extra applications don't hurt in case somebody has to step away or something, so they have somebody to go to fill in. I mean, it's good to have backup for everything so we can keep things going. And public turnout at the meetings is helpful. So everybody knows what's going on, what they want. They're not just shooting from the hip. Ideas are helpful for a lot of things. They might not always work, but there's always ways to help make everything else work. The lights, as they said, they are great. I wish we could get some more down Parks, Highway and stuff. So maybe we'll light up the front yard, huh, Christian?
I don't want to spoil it for Chief, but there might be already talks for lights.
Fire department, thank you for the trunk or treat. And everybody else that helped participate and do everything else. Thank you guys. And I guess that's it. I was gonna mention the 24th, but that's done, so. I guess we'll adjourn at 8:44.
Kent Mitchell.